Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Disney Movie Review. You're here with me, Melissa from Mouse Talk, and Dan from Disney Dan. And I'm going to need Dan's help today. Walt is in the middle of watching, if you don't know this already. Walt is a huge Rams fan. They're in the final quarter of the game, and it's been a little bit stressful, to say the least, for the last few minutes of this game. So if you hear any screaming in the background, just disregard it. So anyway,
we're just expecting a huge shout coming from the other room.
Or a Paul.
He'd be like, "That's not how you're meant to do things on the show." Oh no, he's probably going to talk about the Rams thing.
Oh no, he's been.
But I'm excited, Melissa, because we have a very special guest with us tonight.
Very special, and we shall introduce her at this very moment.
Drum roll.
This is
I'm on TV.
This is Chico.
I'm on TV. For the good of all crew.
For the good of all crew.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Is
this your first YouTube debut?
Fan ever.
This is your debut.
Thank you for having me.
I do feel like it's now British majority on this stream at the moment. It's just an hour for Melissa to listen to British accents.
I might have asked a few of my friends to join as well. It's only fair.
Sounds great. But it's good to have you on the show as our special guest for the Disney movie review. And I think when I pulled this movie 2 weeks ago, I think Walt and we instantly thought there's only one person on Earth who would be up for doing, by the way, at 11 o'clock at night to discuss the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And it's, of course, our friend Sai. Of course. It had to be. It had to be.
Thank you.
So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And obviously, it's good. I'm going to probably take more of the reins of the show, but it's so lovely to have Melissa join us as co-host again today. Last time we were discussing was the Muppets Christmas Carol, which was not over Christmas. It was like 3-4 weeks afterwards.
Right.
So it's been quite a while. But yeah, it's good to see everybody.
So fast. Well,
I think we should see who's in the chat.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I can start shouting out some names, and we'll let Dan take over since he knows the drill. All right, so welcome in Laura Viscardis. Hey, Laura. Brian, West Coast Disney Adventures. Thanks for being here. Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie. Sarah's here. Welcome in, Sarah. Alex. Hey, Alex Kennett. Let's see here. We have, keep scrolling. Chris Slemmer is here. Hi, Chris. Hi, Princess Molly. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Catherine Wilby is here. Hi, Catherine.
Hey.
Everybody's had a good weekend. Let's see. Matt, Jack, Sandy Claus, Logan is here. Hi, Matt. Thanks for being here today. Teresa Holmes. Hi, Teresa. Yes, chat is booming. Everybody's been kind of chatting in the background before we even jumped on, so I love that. You guys are amazing. Lisa, is it Zapiak? I hope I'm not butchering your name. Thank you for being here, Lisa. Let's see. Let's keep going. Hannah Waghorn is here.
Hello.
Who had a fabulous meetup with Cy and Kirsty. And Contessa Luann C is here. Hi, Luann. Let's see here. Who else? Kenneth H. Hi, Kenneth. Aisha is here. Hi, Aisha. Christopher Jameson.
She's my friend.
How are you today? Thanks for being here.
Really here. Welcome.
Candy Tink. Hi, Candy Tink. Krista Marconi is here. Megan is here. Hi, Megan. Fast Pass fam. Welcome back. And what WDW Max? Hello. Welcome in, Max. All right. Am I even getting close, guys? I think we're caught up.
I think you're caught up with everybody. It's so nice to see some fresh new faces and old returning faces as well. But if you're new to Disney Movie Review, it's Walt and I, Disney Dan, where we review a movie each and every week. We've done nearly 50 reviews together over the last year and a half, so it's been like kind of crazy. And it's always nice to have different guests and special guests and different co-hosts as well over these reviews, because we actually love doing these movies. But yeah, if you don't know, I'm Disney Dan, which is really nice to see. This is Sai. This is your first stream, isn't it?
This is my YouTube debut. Hello, everyone.
And I've actually been privileged to meet Sai in the past. We met back in December. Was it late November or early December?
Oh gosh,
I think it must have been November actually.
Yeah, it
because
might
it was
have been.
over my
It was
birthday
good.
weekend.
Yes, it was. It was your birthday, either that day or the coming up.
It was, yeah. It was around November where I met up with Sai and Hannah and Kirsty up in London. It was just so nice to see them and actually finally meet them in person. So it's just really exciting that you've come to join us for a Disney movie review. So it's really exciting.
Thank you.
So how we do the show is that we literally discuss the movie that we chose last week, which was The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And we'll go through the movie, discuss what we love, what we maybe not so love, because sometimes there are things that we not so love, but I'm pretty sure there's not much things to say in that sort of category. And then at the end, you'll get to decide how you would grade the movie from an A+ down to an F. So it's completely sort of how you love or may not love the film. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a real fun discussion of The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. But my first question is, when was the first time either of you watched The Many Adventures of Winnie? When was the first time you watched The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh?
I don't mind saying I was probably very, very, very little. I was like a little girl for sure. I can't say how old, but probably somewhere between 6 and 7 or 8, if I had to guess. I was introduced to the books first.
Right.
And my love grew from there onwards. And there was no stopping it.
Fandom and love of everything Pooh began from there.
Yes.
Melissa, do you remember the first time you watched this one?
I do, and my story's very similar to Sai. My mom used to read us books at night, every night before bed, and that was how I was first introduced to Pooh as well, and has a special place in my heart. It came out in 1977. I was born in 74, and it was the first movie that I got to see in a movie theater when I was little. I don't remember it, but that's why it has a special place too, because that was my first real movie that I was exposed to. And actually, Mason, when he was a baby, his whole nursery was decorated Winnie the Pooh. So,
so you both have like really close memories with this franchise, essentially. Whereas mine is kind of weirder. So in terms of the film, I didn't watch it till I was at university. And yes, I actually watched this when I was at university, when I was like 21 years old, because that's what every sort of, person would watch. Not any of these like, blockbuster movies or anything. I would just sit and watch like Disney films. So I remember watching it at university, in college, and it was just it's a feel-good film. It just cheered me up, and it's like not stressful to watch. But actually, where I used to live growing up was 5 minutes away from this park, and part of the park was called the 100-Acre Wood, and it had like all these different sort of trees and burrows and everything that was, designed to be the actual 100-Acre Wood. Whether that was the actual 100-Acre Wood it was designed from or anything like that, I have no idea. But it was clearly something that was, part of my childhood. We would like walk around, we would see the tree with the little door, and Mr. Sanders on the outside. There's like little burrows where Piglet and Rabbit would be. So I remember like walking around with like my parents, seeing that stuff. And then there was one year when I was in my primary school, when I was about 10 years old, there was like a fair. And those little party games, and I remember winning a giant fluffy Winnie the Pooh.
That makes me so excited.
But what's sad is I brought it home, and we had it for maybe like a week or two, and then it just went missing. Now, I don't
No.
know if my mum or dad like
Yeah.
took it away or what it was, but I remember like winning it, and I don't know where it went. And you can't miss it. It was huge. This big big Winnie the Pooh. That's gonna be really weird. Big Winnie the Pooh, a big plush, and it just went somewhere. I had no idea where it was. So, but yeah, that was like my sort of backstory with not just the movie, but my sort of interest in Winnie the Pooh. But obviously, Disney has like such a big sort of partnership with Winnie the Pooh. I mean, we've got the ride. We've got many Winnie the Pooh rides all over the world, I think. There's one in like Tokyo, Pooh's Honey Hut, and then we've got obviously the one in Orlando, and there's a few others as well. But there is no distant partnership between Disney and Winnie the Pooh. They're both very much parts of the family there, which is really sweet. And when we pulled this movie, I was very excited.
So was I.
Well, we knew exactly who to call, so there you go. So 1977, the year Star Wars released, two greatest movies, Winnie the Pooh and Star Wars, released in a fantastic year. It starts off very much, even before like we get right into the animation, I just love the opening where you can just see Christopher Robin's room and the plushes of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Eeyore in this sort of child's bedroom, definitely from the 1970s. It's just such a, like, I can't really explain it. It just seems so innocent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's what every child's bedroom should look like, in my humble opinion.
Right?
Full of teddies, full of books.
Yeah.
I was thinking when I was watching this film, I was just like, if everybody in the world would watch this movie, the world would be a much better place.
Aw.
Don't you think? Like,
Yeah,
I think so.
It's such an innocent film. Like, it's such a like light-hearted, like
Wholesome.
easy, wholesome, like just like a homely film. Like, it's just a nice, sweet film. And I think just that opening scene, just in of itself, is just such, it just makes you feel good. It's just a feel-good film, right? And then, you start introduced to all these characters and Winnie the Pooh, like, standing in front of the mirror, which I think is just hilarious when he, like, tries and, like, ties himself back up from behind, remembering that he's actually a teddy bear, and, like, his head turns all the way around because he's, a teddy bear. He's not an actual bear. It's just so sweet. It's just, like, so funny. So, yeah. So there you go. Me and Tigger acted alike. That's why I love my Tigger.
And we have a couple more people. I know Will is here and Wendy is here, so welcome in. Thank you for being here, guys. And Craig's Robotics.
Hey, Craig. What's up? Good to see you. But we do get really introduced to those characters at the start. So we get introduced to Winnie the Pooh in his home. I do love the standing in front of the mirror thing because it's literally just him. Like, we get an understanding of who he is and just how sort of a comfortable, cuddly bear that he is. Right. There we go.
Hi, Timothy. Welcome in, Timothy Rainwater.
Maybe we'll get onto those, how many Winnie the Poohs everyone actually has. Well, actually, no. I correct. How many Winnie the Pooh Sai actually has?
I have a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I have a lot. But it's a healthy obsession.
Yeah. It's a healthy obsession.
Did I ever tell you that one time I wrote a letter to A.A. Milne telling him that basically you should never stop writing Winnie the Pooh books? And then I was so sad that I never heard back from him. So that when I went to Disney Orlando and met Winnie the Pooh for the very first time, I told him I never heard back from him. And he wrote me a letter on a napkin and I framed it.
Oh,
I was very happy.
sweet.
And my love increased for him. My love did increase for him.
So sweet.
That's the magic.
That's really, really sweet.
Love it.
It's just something so lovable about Winnie the Pooh and the character, and just like, I don't know, I think there's such that connection with him and all the characters. Like, he's just so innocent, and I feel like he doesn't really know what's going on, but that's kind of like a good thing. He's like in his own sort of like mental space where he's just so like, all he really cares about is filling his tummy with honey.
Oh,
That's it. That's all he wants, right? I love the scene where he's trying to look for honey, and then we go into that first scene with all the bees. I don't know how a balloon can lift a bear. I don't know. And then the balloon, the balloon changes size, and when he rides that same balloon, I just don't get it. But it's not the point. I think the whole point of this film is that nothing makes sense. But that's kind of like a good thing, because it's meant to be that cartoonish, characteristic kind of film, right? Of course, Winnie the Pooh is going to be riding on a balloon, right? Of course, he's going to get stuck in a honey tree with all the bees, and he's being friendly with the bees. Look, if I was stuck in a hive of bees, I'd be freaking out, but not Winnie the Pooh, right?
No, didn't seem to bother him at all.
No,
I mean, he covered himself in mud as well. He covered himself in mud to disguise himself as a rain cloud so that he could reach the honey. Yeah. I mean, it was iconic.
It's a little black rain cloud, of course.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's funny, Randy. My sister-in-law has a Pooh tattoo as well. So she loves Pooh as well. That was her tattoo, was a Pooh, Winnie the Pooh.
I will find it funny if people come into the stream completely out of context and be like, yeah, I've got a Pooh tattoo, or, just, we've got to be really careful of how we phrase things.
Well, he's right, so we knew it was safe. As long as it has an H at the end.
That is true.
Yes, that is true.
That is true. I do find it curious. I mean, so his name obviously is Winnie the Pooh, but everyone calls him Pooh. So is Winnie his first name, or is Pooh his first name?
I would say it's Winnie, but
yeah.
Winnie, but then Christopher Robin always says Pooh, like calls him Pooh.
Yeah.
And so do all of his friends, so it's just confusing.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. So he has sort of fun with bees and a balloon. It's kind of a nice, sweet opening scene. And then I believe it's the scene where it gets really sort of windy, and they go and have sort of a nice sit down with Al. And I do love the fact that the honey is on the table and it keeps sort of missing Pooh, and he's trying to get the honey, and he's with Piglet at the time. And Al's just having a nice little chat. It's all sort of going backwards and forth. And then, actually, big dramatic scene here, the actual tree with Al's house falls over, and he becomes homeless. Obviously, Al becomes homeless. He doesn't have a place to live, which obviously becomes a bigger issue later on in the film. So I just love the sort of just simple humor, him avoiding the honey, the honey is so close yet so far. The honey keeps going backwards and forwards. It is quite sort of entertaining.
I think especially because, like you mentioned as well, the house is like swaying with the wind, and because it's a blustery day, of course, and then the table's moving this way, so are they. The house moves that way. It's like Pooh never gets the honey, and I'm just like always like, it's so entertaining when he finally does get it.
It's just, and I know we're sort of maybe in a bit out of order, but because I know that scene comes after when Winnie the Pooh gets stuck in Rabbit's home, which I'll talk about in a minute because I actually really like it. But yeah, it's just a really sort of fun scene with them and Al. But I think Winnie the Pooh getting stuck in Rabbit's home after eating all that honey is definitely such a funny scene, because I love
that scene so much.
It's so sweet because you know what? I find a lot of resemblance between me and Pooh if I eat too much. Like, you know, when you eat so much that in a restaurant that you just can't physically get up and just leave the restaurant. That kind of feels like me. If I go to like Garden Grill in Epcot and I eat pretty much, I go around the rotation twice, I don't want to leave. I don't want to get up. So why? So I kind of feel Pooh's pain, being that he got stuck in Rabbit's doorway, and everyone's trying to pull him out. And you got the beaver trying to help out. You got Rabbit and Christopher Robin helping out. You got Rabbit pushing from behind, and they're like, "Oh, we should push him back in and wait till he's through." Nope.
Rabbit does not want that at all. He's like, I just want him out of my house, and they all come together to pull him out.
I will say though, I'm going to say it right now. Rabbit is more savage than Thanos in this film.
How do you compare Rabbit to Thanos?
He's so he's selfish. He's conniving. He's he's only out for himself. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
He was trying to frame Winnie the Pooh's. He was trying to frame his behind, and then obviously, like, because he just didn't want Pooh to come in at all. So I can see he was ruthless.
See how I see it. Like Thanos, the reason why he did his actions because he thought it was the best thing for the universe, right? Whereas, and is that selfish? Maybe, I don't know. But Rabbit, like, he just wanted Pooh out of there, and we'll get on to what he did to Tigger later on in the film. That is really selfish of him. He was manipulating everyone else to do the whole thing with Tigger. Like, hey, I would put Rabbit above Thanos in terms of, savagery. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh my god. So,
I mean, if you want a compelling villain, Rabbit is your guy. I don't know. So he gets stuck in Rabbit's entrance, and obviously Rabbit is not happy about this. And then they kind of pull. I do love the fact that Rue was pulling on Eeyore, and then he just like flings the tail because obviously Eeyore's tail comes off. Obviously,
of course.
Eeyore is such a sweetheart in this film.
I think so too.
He's just
he's always so sad. You just want to cuddle him.
But yeah, no. So they get out. Pooh escapes, and then we get to possibly my favorite part in the film, and it's kind of like two parts. We get Pooh in a dark, stormy night, where he's a bit sort of worried about the noises coming outside, and he opens the door with his little toy rifle. Pounces in comes Tigger. The Tigger comes in, T-I-G-G-E-R, whatever it is.
T-I-double-G-R.
That's it. And he just brings that sense of fun to this film. Like, he comes in at just the point to boost everyone's spirits. You cannot just love Tigger. And the song just makes it, by the way. His song, The Wonderful Thing About Tigger.
Tigger's a wonderful thing. His top is made of rubber. Do
you just want to finish the song?
Yeah, I can't help it.
It's so hard now. I can't sing with a you know what, so it's like, but you want to.
You want to. I know.
He just pulled out a win in overtime. He needs to come in here and sing.
I tell you what. If he does not sing for the Tigger song, he will have to sing for Sigh, Sigh, Sigh.
Yes, before it's over, we will.
I think we need a rendition now. Wait, is it finished? Is he what is it?
The other team tied it up at the end, came back from a 27-3. Rams had a 27-3 lead. The Bucks came and tied it 27-27. Went into overtime, and apparently the Rams pulled out a win. They scored a field goal, and I think it's 30-27 final. He's in there, you know what, in bricks.
We're going to see a very happy Walter.
He get in and talking to me. I'm like, stop. Sorry.
Cynthia.
If there's one thing I know about Walt, he loves his Disney and he loves his sport.
He's very passionate about all of it.
Hey, Cynthia. Good to see you. So many other faces that I haven't seen yet for a while. Timothy Raymore, it's good to see you, brother. Zoe from Wishing Mouse is here. Good to see you.
Hey, Zoe.
It's good to see everybody. So we get introduced. Was
Hi,
that
Paul.
Candy
Hey,
tea.
Paul. Good to
We
see
might have
you.
missed something.
But we get introduced to Tigger. Now, personally, Tigger's my favorite character. I've missed my food BFF. Aww.
I know.
I've missed you too. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Timothy, just stop it.
Oh my God! Have you
Oh,
seen
and
what
here comes
has
Carlos
just got?
making things worse.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he wasn't a few minutes ago, Carlos. I was scared.
I can hear him from here. Oh, jeez. Good to see you, bud.
Courtney, hi, Courtney.
Oh, wow. Hey, Courtney. Hashtag all the rainwaters.
Oh my God! And they came in at the perfect time.
Yeah. It's all
Because it's going to rain soon.
Whenever one is in, that normally they come to follow straight afterwards. So yeah. But Tigger is my favorite character, just because he's just such a load of fun. He just makes everybody happy, and he's just got that sort of energy. Whereas, like, Pooh has got a great personality, but he's so mellow, like he's so calming. Whereas Tigger's like high octane, like let's go, let's have some fun. And obviously we get introduced to Pooh and Tigger and get sort of that interaction, and he's giving us a little bit of warning of the Heffalumps and Woozles. And Pooh's going, you mean the elephants and weasels? And he's like, the Heffalumps and Woozles. That's what we need to be worrying about. And then we get a bit of a obscure song from Disney.
Yes.
Maybe a bit traumatic if you're a very, very, very young child.
I was scared at that, definitely, when I was little girl. When I saw that and I saw the way they made the Heffalumps and Woozles, I look back at it and I laugh now. But that was scary. That was very scary.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the pink elephants on parade from Dumbo.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
My mom hates both of those, so it kind of trailed over to me where I'm just like, I hate both of those parts.
It's something so, like, I don't know what it's about with those that is so, because they are quite, I don't really know how to explain it. It's really just odd. It's just bizarre. I don't know how.
Cynthia, it's me. It's me, Sai.
Sai, Cynthia.
Cynthia is Sai.
Sai.
How does she not know who I am? I'm very offended.
They probably have never seen. A lot of people have never seen you.
Oh,
she's playing. I'm like, I know it'd be weird of all people that.
I was going to come over there, kidnap her and Reese, and tell her.
Whatever gets you here.
I don't even know how many days till I get there. I should really start counting down, but November, yay.
Almost.
Counting down days.
I know, for both of you guys, right? So
I know.
That's amazing.
Well, we haven't booked flights yet, but we will.
Well,
we will be there.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Hopefully, we'll get matching Christmas onesies.
Oh my God, yes!
Yeah, all of us. That'd be bad.
That would be really
Hopefully
cool.
It won't be like it was this year and have it be 80 degrees at Christmas. We never got to wear our onesies this year. I could have worn mine today and yesterday. It's freezing.
It's cold here too. It is cold. Paula Rainwaters, hashtag all the Rainwaters,
Hey,
is
Paula.
here. Pamela, good to see you. Veronica and Debbie, good to see everybody.
Hi,
But the Heffalumps and Woozle scene is, how can I put this? Just bizarre. It's just
Yes.
weird. I don't know how we get to that point. Is Winnie the Pooh overtired and he's starting to see like elephants growing out of elephants and turning into hot air balloons? I don't know. I don't know what was in the honey at that point. I just don't know. Maybe he was having a sugar rush or something else. I don't know. But to see Heffalumps and Woozles, I think that's just kind of it is bizarre. It is bizarre.
He was having the nightmares. He was having the nightmares, especially because Tigger planted it in their brain that they were coming to steal his honey.
That's why, like at the ride at Disney, it's cute how they incorporate, all of this movie or book kind of in a quick little dark ride. They do a pretty good job, I think.
Exactly. And you know what? I actually love the ride. The ride is a good interpretation of the movie. Like it really
it's actually very identical.
Yeah, it retells the story in a nice, cute way in a minute and a half, or however long you're on the ride for. There's obviously stuff they miss out, but it gives you the gist of what the story is about, and I really like it. And all the hidden details. I love seeing the picture of Mr. Toad giving the deed over to Al in the ride, and a few other sort of hidden details as well.
Right, that is good.
So there's a little flood that happens after that scene where Pooh gets obviously stuck in a honey jar, and Piglet is stuck in a whirlpool on a chair. Of course he is. And he sends out a message saying help. Piglet.
It's like, help me, Piglet. I'm like, oh my god.
I just love the fact he wrote out P-P-P-Piglet. I just love that. He could have just written his name, but he actually wrote Piglet. I think that's hilarious.
That was the best thing ever. I think it's just awesome, like how the narrator actually wrote it as if the character's saying it.
You know what?
Sorry, I'm going to remove that.
It's the childish humor. It's the just fun part of it. But yeah, it's just fun. It is fun. But yeah, and then we move on to sort of obviously the flood completely ruins everything. Everybody is sort of just having a great time, just having a go for a swim. And then what happens, because Owl's lost his house, obviously his tree house from before, Piglet offers Owl his home after Eeyore showed him the way. But Piglet offers Owl his home, which is really sort of sweet from Piglet. It's so sweet.
Alex,
I think he almost felt guilty as well, because Eeyore sort of didn't realize or didn't understand it was Piglet's home, and then Owl got happy thinking that the sign "Trespassers Will" actually said Owl, and that the house belonged to him. And then Piglet didn't really say anything, but he wanted to help his friend out of a situation and get him a home. And I cried. I'm not going to lie to you.
This was Alex's comments from earlier, but I'm more on his side of it. I'm like, all his friends know it's Piglet's house, and he's just like, okay, I'll just move out. And I'm like, what?
And then none of them said anything.
Poor Piglet. And it's like, why doesn't somebody just say, that this is Piglet's house? We'll find you a new one. But I know it's meant for little kids, and it's probably to be about sharing and caring.
Yeah.
We're definitely not the audience for it, but
yeah,
when it's not going to be as sophisticated writing as we probably expect. It's not going to be Citizen Kane or anything.
What? That is so not fair.
You're right. You know what? For the outspoken person Rabbit is, I don't know why he didn't say anything. But obviously, maybe that was part of his dastardly plan. I don't know, because you know how much of a villain he is. But of course, and then because now Piglet's homeless, guess who invites him to stay with him? Obviously, Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, because he's a legend.
Pooh offers Piglet to stay with him, and then they have a really cute party for two heroes, and they bounce on this little sort of like trampoline thing, which is just really cute. I just really like it. But it's just sweet. It is sweet. Of course it is. Hey Simba2, what's up, Matt?
Catch me up.
Forget it, Matt.
We should just start over. Hooray for Pooh too!
And Piglet too.
That's
And
right.
Piglet too, of course.
And now we get into Rabbit's Infinity Gauntlet plan.
Yes.
So Rabbit doesn't like Tigger bouncing. Hey, there's nothing wrong with people bouncing. I don't know why he has anything against Tiggers that bounce. I think it's, but clearly he wants Tigger to stop bouncing. So instead of just saying to Tigger, "Hey, can you stop bouncing, please?" They said, "We will drag him into the middle of the forest,
Yeah.
and then we will leave him there and go hide somewhere and run away like cowards, right? And make him feel lost and yeah." And Piglet's like, "Yeah, let's do that. That's great. That's fantastic." Pooh's half
Winnie's
asleep.
on it too. Yeah.
Well, no, let's be fair here. Pooh's half asleep, and he's just like, he doesn't really know what's going on because remember he's in his own little world. And he goes like, "Yeah, I'm here, I'm good." So he's like well, he's not really in on it. He's just going with the flow, really, isn't he?
He goes along with it, yeah.
He goes along with it, and all he cares about when he's walking with them is, eating honey. And then they all go off into this forest. There's a little Misty. They leave him. They hide. This is what I don't get. They hide in a log.
Log, yeah.
Right? And then Tigger gets caught in the log. And then Rabbit pushes his tail up to let him free. Now, if I was Tigger, right, and I had somebody push my tail out, I would probably want to check who did that.
I mean, it's just so funny. I just think it's hilarious, how they reacted that whole scene. That would never happen in real life. But it's just so funny. But it's really sad that they try and lose him.
It's the fact that, and you know what? It's the fact that this evil rabbit, decided to do this thing, and then it's him, the one that's getting lost. And then, Piglet and Pooh just go back and they get, they meet up with Tigger again because Tiggers never get lost, obviously. And then you've got Rabbit, just in the woods, terrified, he's starting to go crazy. And then, you know what? I just love Tigger calling him Long Ears. That's his nickname, Long Ears. And he pounces on him and just "Hey, I never get lost. How do all that kind of stuff?" And saves Rabbit, and then Rabbit becomes the relatively decent person that he is after this. So yeah, he is mean. He is mean.
I mean, I feel like it was almost karma that Rabbit got lost himself because he tried to lose his friend, and that wasn't very nice of him.
I agree.
See, Rabbit doesn't give anything. He didn't give the honey to Pooh. He didn't really, want him out of his home. He wanted to, get rid of Tigger. At least Thanos gave Gamora a knife. At least he actually loved. At least he actually loved someone and would sacrifice someone for a stone. Whereas
he did also
Rabbit
throw her off of a hill or a cliff or whatever it is. But hey ho, if that's your definition of love,
at least Rabbit would have the decency to give Pooh some honey. Nope, definitely not.
Rabbit's just a perfectionist and wants things a certain way because he's kind of OCD, and he just gets bothered and doesn't want to deal with it. So he just goes about things the wrong way.
Dread it, run from it.
That's mostly the
That was quite good, actually. That was really good.
See, and now everybody's going to be comparing Rabbit to Thanos now.
Oh my gosh.
So there you go. Exactly. And then what comes after that? I think it doesn't Tigger and Roo get stuck in a tree.
Yeah, they got the tree.
Tigger and Roo get stuck in a tree, and then Pooh thinks it's a jackal or
A jagular.
jagular that goes ooh, and Tigger's just going hello. Oh, and this is where they break the fourth wall with like the narrator getting involved. The narrator is playing God here, let's be honest here. Like he's completely has control of all of these characters. These characters don't have any free will. It's the narrator, because he can bend reality and bend gravity so that Tigger can get down to the ground safely. He bends the book, right? He tilts the book so he slides down the words. I mean, the narrator has like the power of over all of these characters. So then Tigger doesn't jump or climb down this tree. He literally just lets him slide down the page. Like it's just he's God. The narrator is God.
But it is very, very important to note that while he was stuck in the tree and before the narrator slid him down, that he sort of said that if anyone was able to help him get down, that he wouldn't bounce anymore, which Rabbit was very thrilled about.
Yeah, of course he was, because he's a selfish animal.
He's a selfish rabbit.
Selfish rabbit. And then they were like, oh, we missed the old Tigger, let's have him bounce again. And they're like, yes, let's do that. And they all, let him bounce again. And Tigger gets to be his normal self. And then Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh walk off into the sunset. And they live happily ever after.
I mean, yes. Best film ever.
Well, let's discuss that. So this is what we normally do on Disney Movie Review. Once we've gone through the movie, we actually grade the film. So we go from an A+ down to an F. Now we invite you guys in the chat to put this in the chat. So you give a letter grade in which you would give the film if you've seen it, and give a reason why. Like, maybe you would want to give it a C, and you say this is your reasons for it being a C or whatever it is. So put your letter grade in the chat and tell us why you like or maybe not like the film. And while you're doing that, we're going to give our review and our letter grade of the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Sai, do you want to go first? Do you want to sort of discuss why this film means? Yeah, why this film means to you, what you love about the film, and what letter grade you give it?
Firstly, I do not mind if anyone in the chat gives it an unfair grade, even if I love this film. I will not be offended. I actually gave this film 2 grades, and I will explain why I gave 2. The first one being A+++++, because I'm clearly biased. But if I was to give my honest review, it would be that I think for me, the reason I like Winnie so much is because I felt like the story was always trying to teach something or had some sort of moral or lesson behind it. And they've explained it in a way that can be understood by all age groups. And because of that, people will firstly learn that if your friends are stuck literally in a hole, that you can join forces, get your friend out. If your friend's house has been destroyed, that you've come together and given him your home, or that if you shouldn't try and change your friends because you don't like something about them, and that's what makes them them. So I felt like the stories gave like good examples of what someone like us could experience in life. And because of that, and the actual humor of the film overall, and the animation, and obviously my love of Winnie, I think a fairer grade would be a B. So I'm going to give it a B.
B. Favorite character?
A B. I mean, Winnie the Pooh. Has to be Winnie the Pooh. Did you have to ask?
You could have thrown us a curveball with Kanga or something. I don't know.
It was the beaver. Definitely the beaver.
The beaver with the lisp. There you go. Very nice. Melissa?
I can't really top that, but that was awesome. But I have a very, in my childhood, I have a very strong connection to Pooh, and I agree with everything Sai had to say in terms of it being, good for children and teaching them, good moral lessons, and that's what I love about it. And in fair grade too, I would give it a B as well. And Pooh is actually my favorite character too, and Piglet is a close second. I think I'm a combination of those two characters.
Before I get to my letter grade, let's see what we've got in the chat. Sarah says A because it's just adorable, simplistic in the best way, but not A plus because Piglet's big adventure hits a lot of hard emotional lines. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Piglet's Great Adventure because it actually is a really fun film. It is really, really good. I remember seeing that in the cinema, by the way. I remember going and seeing that with some friends, Piglet's Big Adventure. I was very young, obviously. I wasn't in my 20s when I saw it. Not that's a problem, but I remember seeing it when I was a child. Sympathy says, we have two Brits grading this film. Talk about bias.
I mean...
Take that as you wish. Christopher Slemmer says solid B. Pooh's always trying to do the right thing, just always seems to get caught up on the moment and eventually figures it out. I totally agree. Alex Connect gives it a B plus. Tigger is a real antagonist. Rabbit is reacting to being knocked down, but upon and used. Pooh didn't want to see Rabbit. He abused his hospitality. Don't get me started on Piglet's house. See, I'm total opposite. I think Rabbit is the antagonist here, being that he is the criminal mastermind. But hey, it's everyone's opinion. But I respect your take on it. But it is really fun. Hannah says, I saw this film with Sight on Friday. The film was very basic. I just told the story of the book that I had listened to when I was a child. The cinematography was great for the 1970s. A grade is a B. Let's see, a solid B from Simba 2. My favorite character is Eeyore. Let's see, what's else? Anyone else? Any other data? Brian says, I give this movie a B because they're upset because Pooh stole their honey. Love it. Debbie Bernthal says B. It is simple, but it gives a lesson in helping your friends in need. Favorite character is Pooh. My favorite character, let's do that. My favorite character is Tigger. I just love his energy, his interaction, his just charm. I just enjoy watching Tigger on the screen. And actually, you know what? Going to the parks, he just acts exactly how he is in the film, and I just love it. I really do. In terms of the film itself, I've said this at the start, I think, films like this just make everybody happy. And I think more films should be like this. Instead of like those typical films nowadays by that other studio that literally just do dance routines from popular like pop songs. They need to make more films like this because it's full of heart, and it's just really pleasant and easy to watch. Now, would I watch this film again in the near future? Maybe. It's not one I would rewatch all the time personally, but I do enjoy it. I think if you take this as a movie, it's kind of just like 5 or 6 short stories, and it's kind of like that because it's all done in a book. It's all different chapters, so it's purposely done that. It's not one coherent storyline. There's not sort of one massive character development, except for maybe Rabbit. His character changes quite a lot in the film. But apart from that, it's quite sort of simple, and that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be simple because of those, for its target audience. We are not their target audience. The target audience is very, very, very young children. But for what it is a lovely, charming film. For me, I'm going to give it a B-. I really think it's a really fun film. I recommend everybody to go and watch it. But yeah, I give it a B- personally. So yes, any others? I give it a B, but my favorite character is Piglet, says Candy Tink. But yeah, that is it. Any other point? Actually, I want to ask that question. How many Winnie the Pooh plushes do you have, Si?
Okay, I have.
Don't lie, you've counted them all. You know how many exactly you have.
The answer might surprise you. At this current moment in time, I have 5.
Okay.
I did have more, but I also have a dog who may or may not have attacked it, and I was very heartbroken.
Oh, no.
I do have like 5 Winnie the Pooh plushes. I am wearing my Winnie the Pooh pajamas today. I have 3 Winnie the Pooh notebooks, a Winnie the Pooh rucksack, a Winnie the Pooh wall art. Yeah.
Nice.
You could say my favorite character is Winnie.
I think we all gathered that, which is why you were here, and which is why we really loved having you as a special guest.
Thank
Mason says, I give it a B, standing for better villain than Thanos. Hey, dude, I know what I knew that would make you laugh, dude. Like, I just think. But no, but truly, Si, it's been really lovely having you on the show for your first YouTube debut. Hopefully, more to come in the future. And yeah, you did an absolutely amazing job discussing your love of the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh with us. And I hope you guys I hope you really enjoyed hanging out with us. It's been really good fun.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Same time next week. I'm joking.
Same time next week, of course.
You don't need any sleep Sunday nights.
And of course, I've got to thank my amazing co-host. Now, obviously, this is on your channel, Melissa, but you are definitely the better half. No. But it's so nice doing this Disney movie review with you this week. It's been so much fun. And you know what? You can't tell what this, but since today, we haven't gone off tangents. We haven't talked about other movies.
We did a little.
We haven't related the film to like Lord of the Rings or Die Hard or Game of Thrones this week. Like it's always we've stayed on topic pretty much.
Pretty.
So but it's been so fun. I've really, really enjoyed doing this with you, of course. And this is your third review with us, I think.
Actually, I think you're right.
Because we did Muppets Christmas Carol, and we did.
What was the one before that?
We did one a long time ago. One of the first ones, I believe, that we did. Can't remember.
Not awful.
But I think before we wrap up, I think we've got to do the part that everyone is waiting for.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Walton here. I texted him, but I don't. Let's see.
Move.
Here he is. Here
I
comes
have your drum roll ready. Drum roll.
There he is.
Before to end the stream, everybody wants to hear it.
I'm ready, Walt.
Actually, we need Walt's letter grade.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
First.
Well, I remember it from when I was a kid. First off, Dan, I was listening to you. You were talking about it, how it's a little bit of little skits. It's not one big film with one major storyline. Disney's done that many times in the past, whether it be Make Mine Music, The Three Caballeros,
Fantasia
They've done
from
that
last
on
week.
many different occasions. Fantasia is another one.
Yeah, we did that last week.
Right. It works for them. It doesn't always have to be a continuous story because for kids, they may not be able to keep their attention for that long. So going to a different story each time helps reel them back in to say, hey, it's now something new. I like that. So for me, I like this. I like Winnie the Pooh. It's not one of my favorites. I'm sorry to say, Si. I do like Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
Though. I would have given this a B for sure on the scale for me.
Nice.
I gave it a B.
Yeah, that was her, fair grade.
Yeah, and for me, B's really high. It's still a ton of fun. The characters, I think Disney did a really good job at adapting them from the books. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were books first.
Yeah.
For sure. And they just did a really good job with it. So I would have given it a B for sure. Sigh! Don't let anybody ever say they came up with that first. We did.
You definitely did. It was you.
Yes.
But it's now time.
Ooh, you right?
Isaac.
Oh, here we go.
The next film of the Disney movie review will be on my channel next week, Disney Dan, DIZNEYDAN. So for the next episode, again, I really don't know why we're still doing it out of a Tyrion Lannister Game of Thrones Funko Pop box.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what we do here on the show. But here we go. The review for next week's show.
Here we go. This is always the part that gets me the most nervous. You need to pull out Blackbeard's ghost.
If it is, I'll die.
Ooh.
Up at Treasure Island.
It is a live action film.
Oh, okay.
And it's the film. I don't know if you probably will see this. It's the film. Holes.
What?
Oh, I love that film.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a good film.
I read the book.
I know what that is.
Look
Okay.
from the book.
I've never seen that. That'll be a
I've
first.
seen it like 5 times. It's a great film.
Yeah, it's
We're
good.
going to watch the film
good.
Holes from the book. It's very exciting. It's actually a very popular book in the UK, actually. I know a lot of sorts of schools would read the book for class. It's going to be really exciting. And you know what? It's a nice thing to do because with Disney Movie Review, we watch all these films that we're so used to watching. It's nice to do something that people haven't even seen before. So go out, watch Holes. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to review that next week on my channel.
Now, that did not have a second one, did it? It was a one-off, right?
It's a one-off.
Okay, because I know sometimes the Disney Channel movies will have a second one and sometimes even a third. I couldn't remember if that one did or not.
I don't even think it was a Disney.
I don't think it did. I think it's just one.
Was that a feature film? That wasn't a feature film, was it?
I don't think it was a Disney Channel film. I think it was just a live action
Feature film. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was.
So the next film is Holes. So it's going to be really, really, really exciting. And I believe Shia LaBeouf's in it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You're
It
right,
is
Charles.
with Shia LaBeouf.
Hello, Charles.
Before he moved on to the Transformers.
Transformers.
I was trying to get Flop and Transformers in at the same
First
time.
couple did really good.
Sorry, the first one.
There we go. And there we go. I'll let
Chris doesn't have anything to do with Swiss cheese. No,
You'll see. Don't give it away. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
Just find
there you
out.
go.
It's a good film.
All right.
There we go.
Well, thank you. First off, thank you to Melissa for filling in for me. That was very, very valiant. Thank you to Dan for what it sounds like has been leading the entire thing.
I asked him.
And thank you to our very special guest down below, the lovely, the beautiful, the fan of Winnie the Pooh, Sai, who
Thank
just
you.
got back from her whirlwind tour to Scotland.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And
When
got
you said
back-
whirlwind tour, it's just like she's been like performing on stage and stuff.
That's love.
we won't get into that. But we're glad you're here, girl.
Thank you for having me. I'm very glad to be here.
Being here. Oh my goodness.
It's our pleasure. There's your other partner in crime.
Hannah.
That's the one. But
Oh, thanks, Isaac.
thank you guys. There you go.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Isaac.
Use the words so you be in it.
So now everybody finally gets to see Sai in person too. See?
Yay.
I already beat everybody to the punch.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you did.
Sorry.
Daniel was very lucky.
No.
He did.
I was
And
very
maybe
lucky.
this time in December or November, December, we will all see each other in person. Who knows?
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a fun end of the year.
It is.
Yeah.
We've only just started the year. We're already looking at the end.
Of course. It's going to fly by anyway.
Exactly. It's going to
That's
fly
true.
by. It
That
definitely
is
will.
true. That is true.
I can't believe it's already the end of January.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to everybody in the chat for all the. Looks like the chat's been really good today,
Yeah,
so
you
that's
guys
been
have
great.
been great.
Be sure, guys, for those that don't know, please check out Dan's channel, Disney Dan. He's our partner channel, him and Steve's World. Be sure to also check out the Live Place, theliveplace.com for family-friendly streams. There's the Live Place. There's Dan and Steve. And, of course, our members. Thank you to all of our members for your extra generosity and loyalty. You guys always do fantastic. We appreciate it. And just like it says down below, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you all very much. Dan, Cy, we love you.
For the good of all Cree.
All Cree.
For the good of Will Cree.
Thank you. Look at that side. You know, too. You go, girl.
I'm on TV.
I'm on TV.
Oh, isn't that one such a...
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Everyone.
Bye, Dan. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, bye-bye.